Hello everybody, Lucas Haneman here. I hope you guys are doing well this week. Welcome to part 2 of the mini-series entitled The Guitars of Bonecat. Part 2 features this Stratocaster mongrel here. My buddy Bill owns a guitar that you guys hopefully saw on the series last week, which was the Reverend Warhawk 390 featuring 3 P90 pickups. Now this guitar, in one way, might look very similar to that guitar. It's the P90 pickups. As the story goes, Bill got his Reverend Warhawk from Reverend, fell in love with the pickups, fell in love with the sound of it, and then when he purchased this guitar, he called Reverend up and he asked to purchase a set of their pickups. At that time anyways, I don't know what the case is right now, at that time they were not selling the pickups. So they told Bill, we can't sell you any, but we'll give you a set. So they mailed these to him, and I think that really speaks to the quality of Reverend and the people who work there. It's a pretty amazing thing. Now these pickups sound great, as we discovered last week, but let's talk about this specific guitar. This guitar started life as a Fender Highway One Strat, and as legend goes, the Highway One Strats were using parts from the States that were shipped down the Highway 1, to Mexico, where they were assembled, and then they were shipped back to the States. So these guitars do say made in America on the headstock, but you know, they weren't quite made in America. But this made Fender keep the price down a bit on these guitars. So these guitars went brand new for somewhere around $700 or $800. So a pretty good deal for an American, semi-American made instrument. Now, defining feature of the Highway One Stratocasters is that they have the large 70s style headstock. Based on the serial number, this one seems to be a 2003 model. And, the other defining feature of these guitars was that they had this kind of nitrocellulose type finish that really checked and cracked a lot for people who played them a lot. And Bill has played the heck out of this guitar. I mean, look at some of this wear, guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but it's pretty crazy. Like all around here, it's all checked out. Here, there's a big piece of finish missing. Yeah, I know you guys can see that. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, that's the way to do it, guys. I mean, I think, personally, buy a guitar and just play the heck out of it. Buy a shiny new guitar and play the heck out of it. That's my opinion. Other things that Bill did to this guitar, he really made it his own. So the tremolo here is called a Super V tremolo, and he put a Super V mag lock in the back, which helps the stability of the tremolo when it comes back to pitch. It basically stays in tune very, very well. It's got an Irvana nut, and it's got a buffer circuit. So the idea with this buffer circuit, I'll mention it in the description, is that it basically adds some high end to your guitar that the P90 pickups wouldn't usually have. So it sounds very crisp and very clear, and it also makes it so that when you roll down your volume control, you remain clear. And it basically sounds as clean as possible. Okay, so let's hear some sounds. Now I'm going to turn off my Strymon Flint, which you guys heard there in the intro. This is just the guitar into the amplifier. The amplifier is my Vintage Sound Vintage 20 Princeton Reverb style amp. So here's the neck pickup. Here's neck and middle together. Here's the middle pickup by itself. Here's the middle and the bridge together. And here's the bridge by itself. And I'm going to turn on my Kingsley Minstrel tube overdrive pedal so you guys can hear it with some dirt. Sounds great, and I know what you guys are thinking. It sounds like a Strat, but let me compare it to a real vintage Strat style guitar so you can hear the difference between P90s and single coil pickups. This other guitar that I'm going to pick up right now is a Don Grosh Retro Classic. Now the Retro Classic guitars are basically very traditional Strat style guitars. I featured this one on the show before. I actually still have it around. It belongs to a friend of mine. And traditional Strat style guitar, alder body, maple neck, with a rosewood fingerboard, much like the other guitar, and just 3 single coil pickups. On this guitar, I believe these are Lawler pickups. So here's the sound of this one. It's much glassier and much more trebly, less bass response, more jangly. I mean, and that's, I know it's obvious that, that would be the case, obviously, with single coils, but I just thought I'd show you guys the difference in the sound. Okay, so, in conclusion, I think this is a very killer guitar. It's been played, it's been loved, it's been changed up, it only has 1 volume and 1 tone knob, it has a custom pickguard, it's a mongrel. I want to know in the comment section, have you guys ever made a mongrel of your own? Have you guys ever taken a Stratocaster or a Telecaster, ripped it apart, and completely changed it into your own thing? I mean, I've never seen a Strat with 3 Reverend P90s. It's pretty unique. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys have done to your Stratocasters or Telecasters. Okay, that's it for this week. Please keep those likes, shares, and subscribes coming. We'll see you guys again next Tuesday.